So hey, it's Randy from Happy Maple Nursery again, and so we're just continuing on with working some of our larch this spring. It's May 1st today, actually. You can hear that our backyard is pretty busy with birds, which is a nice sign. And so these are larches that were field grown and then dug last year. We just let them grow all year in these small, I guess, pre-training pots or training pots. And so now we're looking to work the tree a little bit. They're larches, so they're extremely vigorous. We've got some really big branches on this one. Typically it was topped a few times, but some of these side shoots really took off. So as I stare at this, I don't see a lot of branching that's close to the trunk, so it's going to be a challenging one, indeed. So I think first things first, I'm going to get rid of some of these really big side shoots. These are going to turn into gins. All the buds are somewhere way out here, so not really useful to us. As you can see, there's no buds on the inner part of the tree. They first maybe start up over here somewhere, so that's too far. So what I'm going to do is just cut this, get rid of that, so we can actually see what's going on. Also, if I come across any dead branches that clearly have no buds, like this one, I'll also remove them so I can see what's going on. I just want to open this tree up so we can kind of see what we got for structure. You can see that some of these small twigs, they die back quite easy. I do have a thin branch right here, which will be helpful. I'm looking to keep thin branches since they are going to give us the appearance of an older tree. Good news is we're working with the larch here, so they callus over really easy and heal really easy as well. Got another branch with no buds on it. So again, you'll see another big honking branch here. Don't think we can do much with that. There's a little more budding down in here, but I think it's too big to be useful. And so we're going to cut that off and make a jit. So, bye. Some more branches in here that at least have some buds, at least out here, so that's helpful. I want to save those. Some buds here. Buds on that branch. None on this, so we'll take that off, and you can see they are quite dry if you're unsure. Give them a scratch. If there's no green cambium, they're no longer alive. So the tree's made some decisions for us here on what to keep and what to get rid of, just based on what's getting liked. Another dead branch here I'll just take out. Actually, what we're doing is really opening up the tree now. Don't believe larches will backbud on old wood. We might get some on this. We'll have to see. I don't know how old this tree is. I know it was field grown for about 5 years, so that potential may be lost. Another mostly dead branch here, so we'll take this off, leaving the potential for a gin. That's dead as well. So hopefully you can hear me and see what I'm up to. But this is a challenging project without 2 people to film, so but I do want to show you what I'm doing. Buds here, buds here. Another little nub in here I'll just take off. At this point, I just want to be really careful not to take off anything that is alive and maybe ruin some of my potential design. My design possibility, I should say. So we got some branches down here. You can see the buds are quite far out. Same with over here. I'm not sure if those will be ultimately any use to us. Can have some gins here for sure. Also, this is pretty low branch. Don't think we need that ultimately. And so we're starting to run into an area where there's a few more. So I think our tree is basically going to only start up here, which is okay. I think that's okay. I think we're ultimately going to take off almost everything and then start working with something up here. You can see we got a nice turn right here, which is kind of nice. Branch here that we can try to work with. Nice thick trunk, nice taper. So I think we got to remove this big guy too. You can see that there's two big branches here, or big, almost like independent trees coming out of what would have been a really low branch when this thing was planted in the field a long time ago. So it's been allowed to grow, so I think we're gonna just take that right out. And again, another gin. You know, the thing with gins, you can always come back and successively remove them later. Another dead branch here, not doing a whole lot. You can see that it was pruned though. But ultimately the other larger branches, I guess, shaded it out, and the tree made the choice to no longer grow that. I think this is ultimately no good to us too. Again, I just want to remove anything that looks dead, just so I know what I have is workable. Some really big branching here, off into the back. Little branch here, that could be helpful. Just trimming out these little twigs that are clearly dead. Okay, so when we start to look at this tree, kind of see what's going on in it now a little better. Now that we remove dead wood, might be a bit more in the top. So we clearly got this main structure here, and then it starts to grow with a bunch of stuff coming out the top up here. Got a bit of flex in some of these, most of these actually. Not so much. That's pretty thick. This is pretty thick and down low. I'm going to go ahead and probably remove, I think, everything up to about here. And so if we look to gin these, we're just going to get the bark off most of this now, some of it anyway, just to kind of clearly demark what's what. So we're not going to spend too much time on the gins. We have the tools and the carving tools to come back. Other thing we're going to do is we got a few of these roots that are popping up. Some of them are actually just dead, still alive, but kind of unsightly. We're just going to remove those while we have access to them. Obviously we didn't do any root work to this other than the dig itself. It still has some field soil in it, so not really the focus today. So we got another thick branch here, another thick branch here. Potentially another gin there, which I'm going to shorten because this is Yeah, I think we are removing all these branches up to about here. Just want to be sure that that's what I want to do because there's no going back. Yeah, here goes. So we do have a little branch. We have a little branch coming outside this big one. Not sure how useful it'll be. Pretty big haircut. Got a lot going this way. Can start to splay these out, although that's pretty thick. We could maybe look to build some taper off that. Maybe with that there. Use that. So that's decent. Your first few branches. This might be too. I think we get rid of this. Get rid of that. Lots of choices. That's a nice line. I think you see this start here. It's a decent line, but it's moving away from you, so if we could towards this is also a nice one. Kind of going like. I think our nicest line is this. So in which case we won't need this. And we start to work with that. This is our leaders. Keep that. Probably get rid of these, but I will leave them to keep some health to this tree. Keep this as another branch, and I think it's either one of these or both. I will come in and kill this. Shorten that. Shorten these to what we need. We'll get some wire on that. Get some wire on this. Get some wire on that. Shorten this a little bit because I don't want that getting in my way. And don't know if we need ultimately all this stuff in the back. So that's pretty dramatic. What we're going to do now is lower this and keep going. This is kind of an awkward branch that's coming out of the top, but we're going to leave it for now just to try to get some vigor into this. Wire this down, which will ultimately probably be our next branch. And we'll attach that or wire that together with this back branch over here. I think I'm going to leave these branches long for now. And I think I'll leave most of them just kind of alone. I might wire this one down. these two together, I think, and that'll be kind of it. I want these branches to kind of gain some vigor. There's some inside buds that are really precious that I don't want to lose, so it's kind of poking up, which I'm not a big fan of, so I can rotate this branch. It's a little better. Just really don't want to lose them. So this thing doesn't lose too much vigor. I don't want to point it down too far. Okay, so that's our front. Got our nice line. Going up there like that. This will be our apex that we'll start to develop. We got some nice branches down the side. I think that's not bad considering kind of what we had. That was a pretty challenging one. I'm going to go ahead and wire these two together, and I think that'll be pretty much it for us today. We'll let the rest of these grow. Like I said, we've got a few really precious buds in a few places we need them to take off. So we don't want to mess with this too much. Actually, we are going to reduce this a bit. That'll hopefully channel a lot of energy up into this apex region. And then we'll start to build our dome. There. Cutting away two buds that are facing the right directions. And we're going to let this guy run a lot. We'll come back and reduce these maybe in the fall, maybe next year. Just don't think there's a need to do it right now. And that's it. So we got a design. First branch starting somewhere up here, second branch, third branch, fourth branch, and then we'll start to build the apex somewhere up here. So that's it from our field grown, one of our field grown larches. Hope you enjoyed our video.